last time you played them here, you beat them by some untold number. I guess you didn't expect to do that again, but given their improvement, was that a pretty solid performance by you guys tonight?
Yeah, I think so. Look, there was periods in the game that we didn't like, and there's probably periods in the game that they didn't like in the way that both sides played. But considering their form against some really good opposition in Hawthorn, Geelong and North Melbourne over the last 4 weeks, we knew it was a tough game, and we prepared accordingly. It's probably in the past you've come in to play the Suns and you've either rested players or you've got your team ready just to get through. But there was no doubt this was not that sort of game. This is a game that we knew would be tested, and we had to play at our best, and we played at our best for a good chance to win, and that's how it shaped up. But halfway through the third quarter, when we were 11 points up or something along that margin, our boys had to get out and play some good football.
How exciting was it with Joe Danaher jumping out of his skin?
Yeah, it was good. The first half, kick those 3 goals, take a few marks. Joey's just got to get the AFL tempo consistency for a whole game, and that'll come as he gets older. But I think the Essendon supporters got a glimpse of the future right there in that half. And as a coach, it's very exciting to see a young kid come in and can mark the ball like that. No double grabs. Doesn't matter where it's kicked. He grabs it first time, and it's pretty pleasing as a coach to have a player like that coming through.
You have to leave out in the short term. I know it's much about the future for him today, but even in the short term, it's hard to tip out his side.
Yeah, there's no intention to tip him out. We want to keep playing. We want to keep playing all our good players, and we'll have a look at the side after obviously a few days off, and we've got a huge game against West Coast in 10 days' time over at Subiaco. So yeah, he's well and truly in the mix for that game.
Have you got faith in him to be the second ruck, sort of back up for Ryder for the rest of the year?
Look, making predictions for the rest of the year would be silly. I think that Tom Bell-Chambers has had a pretty good season too. So we've given him a week off last week from all football, and he'll play reserves tomorrow. And they're all in the mix to play against West Coast. So yeah, the good thing with having that depth in our height is that we can rotate guys through and play the guys that are not only playing really well, but also got a high level of training as well.
What do you know so far in regards to Hurley?
Yeah, look, he's had an old scaphoid injury on that hand going back, I think, a long time. I'm not sure how long he's had it there, and he got hit on that injury. The doctor's pretty confident he'll get up in 10 days to play against West Coast. He's got wrists that have been operated on previously, so when they get a knock on them, they get pretty sore. But Bruce is pretty confident that he'll be right in 10 days' time.
Is that the same injury he had a couple of months ago?
It's the other side. The other side, yeah.
Given the way Hurley finished the Carlton game down back and Jake finished it up forward in that game, were you tempted at all to keep them there for this match, or the fact that you put Hurley forward and Carlisle back was a sign of that's where you think they're ideally best placed at the moment?
Yeah, I think we've spent a lot of time with Michael forward and Jake down back, and we've practiced our game plan that way, and we've practiced. They've spent a lot of time in their areas practicing that way. I think there'll be a time where we will swap them around and move them around, but we're pretty keen to keep them some continuity in the game, keep them playing that way, and it worked for us tonight. But next week we might change it around. It's a fantastic luxury to have, where you've got players who can play well at either end of the ground, and the way they both read the ball in the air and the flight means they can play both forward and back.
Given the first half of the season, that a lot of the time past a couple of months, the players have been dealing with the interviews and stuff off field. During this break, are you going to urge them to literally switch off football for 3-4 days or whatever? Yeah,
we'll give our players, I think they're due back late Thursday afternoon for a recovery session, so what's that, 5 days off? But as I said, we play in 10 days' time or 11 days' time, so we will start preparing for West Coast on Thursday. But until then, the players will have complete time away from the club, and the whole club deserves time off. It's been a really good first half of the year on the field. 9-3's, I think a very good start for where our group thought we would have been at the start of the year, and they've got reward with wins.
Is it possible Goddards even exceeded your expectations when you thought you were over?
Yeah, Brendan, we always knew we had a good player. I thought tonight he was outstanding. Right from the first bounce, he was outstanding, and his marking and ability to use the ball well. I've said a lot that his leadership off the field, his dealings with young players, his ability to set a training standard and continue with the other leaders to set a high standard has been outstanding. But I think his football's only got better from the first game there's a lot of pressure on him that first few weeks and to play well, but now he just seems a bit more relaxed, a bit more comfortable in his skin out in the ground, and he's playing some really good football. So yeah, we're very happy that Brendan Goddard's playing in the red and black.
How about Tate Pears? You challenged him during the week for a good performance. He's had 27 possessions.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great story, Tate. He's a terrific person who's worked very hard in his game, had a lot of injury problems with his foot and his internal injuries. And it's just good to see a guy get knocked back, knocked down, get injured. The amount of times through the last 3 pre-seasons where he'd trained for 2 weeks, couldn't train for 3 weeks, trained for 2 weeks. I think he probably felt like in himself he was never going to get back to the athleticism that he had. To watch him tonight back to that athletic best that he was 3 years ago, and confident with the ball, really sure with the ball, is exciting for him and exciting for us. So, extremely happy for Tate that he's been able to come out and play that way tonight.
Jake Melksham in that contest, I think it was in the second quarter, went back with the pack and got cleaned up. You have a lot of admiration for that act, or was that almost one of the crazy breaks?
Yeah, it's a bit crazy. You want your players to be hard at the ball, but you want them to be able to get up from the contest. And he was fortunate enough to get up. Copped a pretty significant knock to his leg, but got up. And Jake is another player who's we've challenged a lot this year and has stood up. And he probably could have kicked 3 or 4 goals tonight and missed those goals. But other than that, he was a pretty good contributor for us.
He's okay, isn't he?
He's fine. He got a knock to the side of his leg, but corky, and he's fine.
How do you see the hocking battle with Ablett?
Yeah, look, I know Gary had 36 possessions and was a terrific player for Gold Coast, but in terms of the way anyone's played on him, I thought Heath played him as well as anyone, and probably just affected his influence forward of the centre, and made sure that Gary got a lot of his ball in the back half, which was our purpose. I think if you went out to stop Gary getting more than 20 possessions, you're kidding yourself. So we just wanted to restrict where he got the ball and stop him kicking too many goals, and and make sure that of those 36 possessions, less than 15 were in the forward half, which I think happened.
Just on Gold Coast, given the improvements since their first season, are you a little bit apprehensive of playing them again, say in 2 years' time or 3 years?
Yeah, I think it'll be you watch O'Meara, the way he played today, Patrick, their speed, their ability to get out of the contest, they're pretty hard in the contest now. I think we've all got our work cut out for us. The rest of this year, if you're playing the rest of this year, look out. And I think next year and the year after, it's going to be a very different story. So we're very happy we've played them 3 times. I'm probably not looking forward to the next chapter, because there's a lot of talent there, and a couple of other young players haven't played yet that's pretty good as well.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.